Alright, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we had some very big news for the Company of Heroes community and for all RTS fans out there. Company of Heroes 3 finally got announced. Unfortunately, I didn't have any time yesterday to take a deep look at it. I watched the trailer, watched some of the gameplay, but couldn't get into it myself because of lack of time. But today I am here and I'm gonna start off by reviewing. First viewing and then reviewing the trailer. So this is the gameplay reveal trailer. So let's watch it. I'm probably gonna frequently pause it and just comment on things I see.
Italian city of Gita. Taking the beach was our first objective. Shells were raining down on us as we rushed toward the German fortifications. The German bunkers were overlooking the entire beach. And once we were in range, we hit them from both sides. Once the first bunker collapsed, the defense opened up. After securing the beach.
So yeah, like this is immediately, I think, a big hit for all Company of Heroes 1 fans. Company of Heroes 1 had the Flag 88. Company of Heroes 2 didn't saw it. It's just such an iconic piece, and especially for the theater they're going to Africa, to Italy, and the Flag 88 definitely belongs in there. So I'm really hyped about this piece of weaponry is back into the series. It's gonna be great.
Told to take a nearby Flak 88. Blowing up the artillery was the only way we could hold our position.
This was also something they talked about at the reveal. Just look at the verticality. Company of Heroes 1, Company of Heroes 2, they tried verticality a little bit, with just hills running upwards. But it caused so many problems. We in the competitive community, we had to like flatten out all the maps because AT guns weren't able to hit any shots. So at the same time, this verticality feature gets me really hyped, but also worried. Like if they make sure that they're not just gonna, like the shots are still connecting and stuff, then this is going to be great, and this can add another layer of depth into this strategy game. But if they don't get it to work, it's gonna mean that like all the community map makers to set up a competitive scene have to like flatten out all the maps. That's gonna be difficult to do. So I hope they get this to work without endangering the AT gun to tank and the tank to tank combats.
We accomplished our mission, but not without losses. And this long day had just begun. While we led the main front, they dropped in paratroopers to stop any German reinforcements. They never saw them coming. Cut them down!
We got 50 cal over here, we got bazooka boys. We got some M1 Garans as well. See anyone over? And over here, we just go back like a smidge. We see, I think, a full squad with full STG 44s. So no carbines at this squad, so this must be probably some form of an elite squad, or maybe just weapon upgrades, but they all seem to have those STG 44s.
Caught in the open. They never stood a chance.
And here we see probably a lot more regular infantry squad with just the regular carbines. With the Kar 98s. More turtling backwards.
The outskirts of the city are now ours.
So base building will still be a thing. We got medics over here. Really curious to see how it's gonna work.
We set up a forward base.
Yeah, we still see engineers building the base. So
originally building a triage center for the wounded.
Didn't get rid of that, which I like.
We rallied together, and prepared for the final assault. We made our way toward the city square. They were expecting us, but we were one step.
Now this is probably the biggest hype, right? They found a way to deal with the overpoweredness of garrisons. They got a breaching mechanic into the game. Now, I haven't touched the game yet. I have access to the pre-alpha, which I'm gonna play in a bit. But I'm so hyped for this feature. It's gonna make playing around with buildings, and they got a lot of buildings. Yeah, nice color scheme as well. I'm really excited for this.
From the British. We knew this was going to be an uphill fight. German troops were gathered in the main square. We didn't expect that level of resistance. Under heavy fire, buildings collapsing around us, and for a while, they had the upper hand. But we kept on pushing. We managed to hold the position long enough for air support to arrive. The city was ours, but our fight in Italy had only just begun.
Once again, I just have to touch upon this one. The naval rifles are back as well. There's a unit that wasn't Co 1 and not in Co 2. Seems to be back in action. That's a wrap. So yeah, folks, really big hype for this game. We saw a whole bunch of stuff, new stuff. So the verticality is a very big one. The breaching is a very big one. They have, I think they showed it somewhere in here. Quickly find it. Where is that piece? Oh, here it is. So yeah, environment more destructible than ever. Tanks can break through stuff. That's brilliant. We saw it with the bombing as well. The air support. Like everything can blow up. I'm a little worried about the explosions though. Like I was a huge fan of the explosions in Call of Duty 2 for the people that play the game and know the explosions very hard. If you ever saw a universal carrier that was upgraded with the flamethrower getting exploded, that was literally the best explosion I've ever seen in a video game. That's a battle. So these explosions, they seem very big to me, like stuff is going everywhere.
The city was ours.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to get the feel of it. So here we got, this is probably the Nashorn, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. We got to see the naval rifles. We see some regular infantry sitting around as well. Let's see if we can get more view on different units. Here we got your standard carbines. We got half tracks back. I think in the background we saw
Center for the wounded. We rallied together.
Calliope. We got Churchill tanks.
We made our way toward the city square. They were
so a whole bunch of units.
We were one step ahead of them.
So far we know that there's the Americans, the Brits, and the German faction at least.
It was going to be an uphill fight.
Did I miss anything out of the trailer?
German troops were gathered in.
So yeah, we got your standard AT guns.
German troops were gathered.
Panzer IV there. The Nashorn.
We didn't expect that level of resistance.
The MGs are back, of course. Anything auto special that we can see here? Really curious how this vehicle is going to work.
Under heavy fire, buildings collapsing around us.
And it seems like a regular P4.
But we kept on pushing.
Call of Duty 2 saw, of course, two versions. No, three versions actually. Short barrel P4. And then you had the regular P4 and the P4J, which had the armored skirts. And this is a quick look at the campaign map, which also looks amazing. But we'll get into that another time. So this is it for the trailer talk. So we've seen units making a return, navalware for Flag 88s. We saw some commandos running around. We saw some British tanks. I think we saw Shermans. The Calliope was there. For the Germans, you got the Nashorn back, that 88, the navalware for. Got some elite units which were like full STGs, but still. Other side, you had also just your regular carbines. For the USF, you had the airborne guys. We saw I think it was a Brit unit. Someone was throwing a knife. That must be a commander unit. But we saw a whole bunch of units there. We got that verticality and we got that breaching mechanic, and with a new level of destructible environment. So I'm really hyped for this one. If you have any questions or comment, feel free to put them down below. And I hope you'll watch this channel and see more of this Go 3 content. See you later, boys.